Hey there, you wanna hear a story? Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. How are you today? I can't hear you. So I've decided to start a series of sorts. A series I've titled Speed Design Storytime. I need to check to make sure that's what I titled it. Speed Design Storytime. Yep, that's what it is. In this series, I will tell you all a story about my life. I'm not a super interesting person, overall, but there have been a few instances in my life where interesting things have happened, and I'd like to share those stories with you. I have a design that I'm going to be making for my grandfather, who has requested it, and it is of cars. I know nothing about cars, so I'm just going to be making them into an illustration. The tutorial I'm following for this method of illustrating a picture and making it into a vector through Photoshop is by Pixivu. I don't know if that's how you say it. I'm terrible at pronouncing things. But it's Pixivu on YouTube. Go check them out. I'll put a link to the video in the description. While I do that, I'd like to tell you a story. But I'm going to preface it with, if you are offended by potty humor and talk of things of that nature, please click away from this video because there will be a lot of things like that in this video. Let's do this. November 22nd, 2019. This was the day I hit a new low. So some background info, I kind of got dealt a bad hand in life recently. Not bad, but unfortunate. I don't know if those are that different, but anyway, long story short, my husband and I and our 1 and 3-year-old live with my grandparents-in-law. And their house really isn't huge, so we cleaned out the upstairs of the garage and made it into a living space. So basically, bedroom, garage, attic. Everything else is in the house. We live in Maine, and as you may be able to deduce from my attire in my videos, it's freaking cold as balls here. It's currently 11 degrees out, and for the past hour or so it was 8 degrees, and in the building that I'm in, it started out at 49. It's at 53 now, so if that gives you any idea. But because of that, it's incredibly inconvenient to go inside when nature calls. Now, I like to think of myself as a classy gal. I take care of myself. I have some pride, but when life is full of annoying little inconveniences, I'm gonna do what it takes to make it a little easier on myself, right? I pick my battles. And for $10 at Walmart, you can buy a nice little gadget from the camping aisle that allows women to conveniently go number one. It lets you stand to pee. That's what it does. Now, I've gotten some serious use out of this thing so far. It's seen some mileage, and it has a slight learning curve to it, but nothing unmanageable. So, on the fateful night of November 22nd, I really needed to go, and I desperately did not want to have to bundle up, put my shoes on, put my coat on, go outside, go in the house, do the thing, and come back out, and unbundle everything again, all at 2:40 in the morning. So naturally, I opted for the easy route. So I whip out my handy gadget and a bottle. It's not pitch black in there. We have a small nightlight on so I can see the kids if I need to in the middle of the night. But as I'm getting everything ready to go, I think to myself, hey, maybe I should put on a light so I can see what I'm doing, or maybe I should take my pants off as a precaution in case it leaks out the top a little, which is a danger of using such a device. But I didn't do either because, like I said, I've gotten past the learning curve and I'm pretty freaking good at using this thing now. So I tuck the back of it in the back of me and make a good seal in the front and start to relax a little. And then, before I know it, it all starts coming out the top and I don't know why. So I'm stopping and starting as well as I can, and for those of you who have ever tried to do that, you'd know that it's not easy, but it's still coming out the top no matter how tight I hold it to myself, until finally I realize it's because I had the male type part of it too tight in the bottle opening and there was nowhere for the air to go, so the bottle couldn't keep filling up. So I fixed that, but it's too freaking late. Urine everywhere on my pants, on my underwear, on the floor, and yes, even on my shirt. So I flip out and I yell to my husband for help, even though I don't know why. I was just frantic. So there's not a whole lot he can do at this point. But he was having a hard time getting to sleep earlier that night and had just taken some ZQL. So he was in a really deep sleep. So in his surprise, when I screamed to him, he jumped up and accidentally elbowed my daughter. So she wakes up and starts crying. So now everyone is in a tizzy, and I have to strip to the nude to rid myself of my soaked clothing and try to sop up the pee with nothing but a few tissues I have up there because I had nothing else. And luckily we had some disinfecting wipes up there, so I finished the cleaning process with those. So I asked my husband, ever so nicely, if he could go inside and get me fresh clothing while I stand there in my naked shame, waiting for him. So that was that. Will I continue to use my pee gadget? Most definitely. But I will never again be cocky. I recognize it for the powerful yet dangerous tool that it is, and every future use will be exercised with caution and respect. Would I recommend it to other women who may need a convenient method of wazz? Of course, it's great. It just has a bit of a learning curve. But all things worth learning do, like Adobe Illustrator, which I use daily. I think that might have been a little bit of a stretch to tie that into graphic design, but I'm just gonna go with it. So there you have it. That's my slightly embarrassing story of the night I learned things. Pride goeth before a fall. I hope you enjoyed it. There will probably be more educational content coming up, but this was just a fun, quick thing that I could do. It's easier for me to do screen recordings separate while I'm not recording my face because I have children and it's hard to plan all that out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.